Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Kin-Tae. So I pray that everyone is doing well. I decided to go out and get me a little walk while I made this video today. So what I want to ask is how do you view yourself? What do you feel about yourself? What do you say to yourself to encourage yourself when you talk to yourself? Because this morning I was having some challenges, and it goes back to my childhood. And it was a family that I had lived with, and they had their own children and whatnot. But the lady, she would always, when I would make a mistake as a kid, she would always say, "Oh, you're just gonna be just like your mama, and you're gonna you ain't gonna be nothing, And then I would have to go to school and then be bullied because I didn't look like everybody else, didn't have the same clothes as everyone else. And it caused me to have very low self-esteem. Then to come back to her house and be called ugly and dark-skinned by her kids, and I couldn't say anything. But the reason I'm saying, how do you, asking the question, how do you feel about yourself? How do you see yourself? How do you value yourself? Is because, I'm getting winded, I'm going uphill. As I said this morning when I got up, those different thoughts were going on in my head, and because of the things that I'm doing now, especially, along with this book, I've exposed a lot in the book. And, through all of that, I still, I'm going through my healing with the Lord and, still getting deliverance, but there's still some of that residue left there. And sometimes I have challenges with pushing past those thoughts, those negative things that I was hearing people say, because even when I got into the church, I had a leader that I looked up to, to tell me the same thing: you'll never be nothing, and so on and so forth. And I believe what they said, and as a kid, hearing all that negative, our brains are like sponges. So we take all that stuff in. So from hearing negative as a child, you'll never be anything. And then you push through life and you become successful in whatever it is that you're doing. And you still have to fight with those demons. But I challenge everybody today to think about and even write down how you feel about yourself. Regardless if you're going through, if you're not going through any challenges, then God bless you. But, I'm not trying to say that like I'm depressed or anything like that, but those are things that I do have to push through, quite often, is how I value myself and making choices and things like that. But the Bible tells us, and I believe it's Proverbs 23, verse 7, it says, so as a man thinketh, so is he. And what a man pretty much is what a man thinketh, so is he. Whoever you think you are, it says, whatever a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So as a child, when you're going through a bunch of situations, negative situations, a bunch of negative stuff, it sinks into your heart, and then your mind is always wondering, okay, am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? Can I really do this? Is this, sometimes it's hard to accept challenges because of the self-esteem issues. And so I just want to encourage those of you that have been through trauma and dealt with low self-esteem to know that the Bible tells us, because sometimes we'll say, maybe I can't do this, when God said that you can do all things. Sometimes we'll say, oh God, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this. But God, he lets us know that we can make it through whatever, as long as we put our trust in him. And sometimes you look at others and see their life, and you'll be like, oh man, I've always been in this situation, this rut or whatever, so this is where I might stay. And God says in his word, it tells us that we are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. We are the lender, not the borrower. So in all that encompasses what is it, or how is it that you look at yourself or even think about yourself. And for those of you that have been bullied, or those of you that have been mistreated, neglected, talked about, said that you were never going to be anything, that was nothing but the devil trying to stop you, because he knows the purpose that God intended for you. And he wanted to try to cut you off at a young age. But I'm here to let him know that the devil is a liar in your life, in my life, and in everyone else's life. So just be encouraged. God bless you. God keep you. And we'll all be in prayer together. All right. So I just want to know, how do you feel about yourself? What are you thinking about when you see yourself? Woo, it's hot. God bless. It's Kin-Tae. My book is entitled Because It Was Necessary. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. Please continue to follow me. God bless you. We are more than conquerors because the word of God says it.